Hey, what's up guys? TJ here. As you know, I've tested and reviewed dozens on dozens of snowboards for you guys last season, and today I'm going to address one of my most commonly asked advice requests, and that is to point you towards some snowboards that really are capable of doing it all. The first snowboard I want to talk about is going to be the Capita Defenders of Awesome snowboard. It's full camber between the inserts, going to flat underfoot with just a little bit of rocker in the tail. It's a true twin, so it's really versatile, rides exactly the same in both directions. Capita threw in Kevlar bound sidewalls. It's gonna make this board a little bit more durable. And they also put 2 carbon stringers running down the length of the snowboard. That's gonna make the board a little bit more stable and more poppy. Flex-wise, this snowboard has a medium flex that I'd rate right around a 5 out of 10. And overall, it's just a really versatile, kind of freestyle leaning snowboard, but definitely capable of doing anything that you throw at it. The standouts for me on this guy are how much pop it has. It's one of the most poppy snowboards I've ridden so far, and it also has a really fun side cut for carving. The women's equivalent snowboard for this guy is going to be the Capita Birds of a Feather. So for any women watching, I would recommend checking out that board if you're interested. The second board I want to bring up is going to be the Arbor Brian Iguchi Pro Camber snowboard. I actually owned this as a personal board of mine last season and had a ton of fun on it. It's a full camber snowboard throughout the entire length of the board, and it has Arbor's uprise fenders in it. So right underneath the contact points, which is going to be the widest part of the board on the nose and tail, the base and edge is lifted up just a little bit, making the board much more catch-free and not hooky as you're cruising around flat base on cat tracks and things like that. It's got a mountain twin shape, so between the contact points, it's a true twin. It's gonna ride just the same in either direction, but outside the contact points, the nose is a little bit longer than the tail, which is gonna provide you with a little bit more float if you find yourself in powder. As far as the flex goes, this guy has a medium stiff flex that I'd rate right around a 6 out of 10. And Arbor also threw in their Grip Tech side cut. So that's gonna be additional contact points placed right under your feet. That's gonna provide you with a ton of extra grip, making sure you're not slipping out or feeling out of control if you're on hard terrain or you find yourself on ice. The standout features for me on this board is how damp it is. So as you're cruising over choppy terrain, you're not going to be feeling every little bump underfoot, which is nice. Save your knees a little bit. And it also has a really fun side cut for carving. If you're looking for a women's equivalent snowboard, I would point you towards the Arbor Swoon, the camber version. The third snowboard I want to bring up is going to be the Lobster Sender, which is really similar to the Battalion Whatever. This is going to be another full camber snowboard throughout the entire length of the board, and similar to the Arbor Iguchi Pro, there's going to be a little bit more nose than tail outside the contact points. About 1 centimeter more nose than tail, giving it a bit of a directional shape, but it is going to ride exactly the same in both directions because between the contact points, it's basically a true twin snowboard. This board has a medium flex that I'd rate right around a 5 out of 10, and Lobster also threw some carbon stringers in this guy. So in the nose and tail, there's 2 carbon stringers going down to the insert packs that's gonna provide this board with a little bit more stability and more pop. But definitely the coolest feature in this snowboard is the triple base technology. So on the nose and tail, going for a good distance of the board, it's basically a spooned out nose and tail to simplify it. But essentially the side base is uplifted a few degrees, making the board really catch free and also gonna make it a ton of fun for butters. You can really lean into some butters and you're not gonna be catching your edge whatsoever. The 3BT is definitely the biggest standout for me on this snowboard, and also the fact that it's full camber, really in my opinion combining the best aspects of full regular camber and rocker. If you're looking for a women's equivalent of this guy, I would point you towards the Battalion Push-Up. The fourth snowboard I'm going to talk about is the Never Summer Prototype 2. So the Prototype 2 is going to be a rocker dominant snowboard. It has Never Summer's Ripsaw camber profile, so it's going to have more camber underfoot than some of their other boards, but it still is rocker dominant overall. As far as the flex goes, I'd say this is a solid mid-flexing snowboard that I'd rate right around a 5 out of 10, and it's also a true twin, so it's going to ride exactly the same in both directions. Some other tech that Never Summer threw in this snowboard is an asymmetrical side cut. So this guy is going to have a designated heel side edge. The heel side is going to have a bit of a deeper side cut, allowing you to carve more aggressively on your heels with less effort. It's also gonna run their Vario Power Grip side cut, which adds some contact points underfoot, giving you a little bit of extra grip, but not quite on the same level as Grip Tech. Some standouts for me on the Prototype 2 are gonna be how versatile and catch-free that this snowboard is, and also how much fun it is for carving. Even if you're cruising at really high speeds, this snowboard is still gonna be a lot of fun. And if you guys are looking for a women-specific version of this snowboard, Never Summer actually makes a women's Prototype 2, so make sure to check that one out. All right, guys, the fifth and final snowboard I want to talk about today is going to be the time-tested Burton Custom. Not the Custom Twin, but the actual Burton Custom. So it's going to have a directional shape. It's full camber throughout the entire length of the snowboard, but it has a twin flex. On days where you're going to be riding powder or you're mainly going to be carving, you can just ride the snowboard with your binding set at the reference stance. So you're going to have a bit of a setback stance that's going to allow you to float more easily in powder. It's also going to allow you to set a stronger edge while you're carving. But because it has a twin flex, if you want to hit the park or just ride a true twin feeling snowboard, you can actually shift your stance forward about 1 inch. Then you're going to be centered within the side cut on a twin flexing snowboard. So then you're basically going to be riding a true twin, something really similar to the Lobster Sender or the Arbor Aguchi Pro. The nose is still going to be a little bit longer than the tail outside the contact points, but it's going to feel and ride like a true twin. And if you're looking for a women's equivalent of this snowboard, I would point you towards the Burton Feel Good. If you guys want to learn more about these snowboards, we're going to have every single one of them linked down in the description, so I encourage you to check that out. And if you're looking for more of a comprehensive review, I also have written reviews on every single snowboard on the website. So those are available at boardarchive.com. If you have any questions, it'd be awesome to hear about it down in the comments below. You can also hit me up on social media at boardarchive. Thanks again for watching, guys. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.